Hello guys. Today is a very special episode. Well, not episode, but video. I've been wanting to do this for such a long time, ranking the Goosebumps TV specials. You're like, what do you mean TV specials? Like, we talk about two-parters? Yes and no. Some two-parters were not TV specials. Here's the thing, the TV specials premiered for something specific, like a holiday, or like Halloween, for example. Or they were premiered because of special occasion, as being very big. And they're actually really good. Every single one on here is extremely good. I without a doubt, every single one on here is very good and well made. Even the bottom one I'm looking at right now, because bottoms always are going top, because I'm going from my least favorite to my most favorite TV special, not just random episodes. Even though TV specials are pretty awesome. Some of my favorites. Literally, one of them is my personal most favorite. We'll get to that at the very end. This is my opinion. But, yeah, every single one on here is actually really well made. So, if your least favorite one is at the, if your least favorite one is at the front, just know it's because it was well made, and I actually enjoyed that one. If your most favorite one is at the bottom, sure, I can agree that probably some of you have it at the bottom right now. You guys might get mad, but you gotta realize, I do think that is a good episode. Every single episode on here, I repeat, every single episode. I mean it. When I look at all these episodes, I'm like, man, I want to watch those. Every single one of those are so good. When I mean that, I mean it. So, don't take offense to my rankings. Because, just a few on here might get a little suggestive. And my opinions have changed over time. I'm finally ready to do it. You guys probably know my number one. It's a lot of people's number one for episodes as a whole. Let's get started. So, bottom of the barrel, number 7. Even though it's actually amazing, don't get me wrong, it's actually a really good episode. And Night in Terror Tower. So this is one of the first TV specials, I think? I'm not sure. When was this manufactured? 1996. No, but still, it was one of my favorites when I was a kid. Since I've grown older, I've actually changed my opinion on this. I don't like it as much as I did as a kid. The only reason is why is because I remembered a lot more horror. I think the chasing gets old, but when you get to the medieval times, when they get transported through time back to like the 1800s or like the 900s, before we even reach the 1,000 mark in our history, man, it's just, that's where this horror comes really hits you hard. It's actually really well made. Every single thing on here is gonna at least get one compliment because they're all so good. But yeah, I don't really like part 1 that much. I like the beginning. Just the second half, act 2 of part 1 isn't the best. Honestly, the worst act of them all. Act 1 really builds up. Act 2 is just a whole bunch of chasing through the city. It's like, no. But the whole part 2 is honestly, it just makes up for all that. Still, great episode. Okay, and our next one. Some of you might get mad. Fun fact, I did not know this episode existed until like 4 or 5 years after I started collecting. No, I wasn't 5. I collected since I was 2. But I was like 7, 6. I was like 7 or 6 when I found out this episode existed. Because I got it on DVD. I'm like, this episode exists? I didn't know. I got on DVD first. Those DVDs were common. But also, another fun fact, this is the first VHS I actually ever found. I didn't order this online, I actually found it. It was sealed, but little young me opened it like an idiot. Alright, now it's opened. And there's a little crack in there. I don't care, guys. Because guess what's in there? Guess what I kept in there, because I cared about it so much. I kept all the little advertisement slips. Yeah. I'm not selling it. Not for sale. stop bragging about my VHS of Fever Swamp. Start getting to the details why I put this on number 6. So the reason why I put Fever Swamp as number 6 is, I don't know how to put it, boring. Don't get mad. It's pretty much the same problem I have with Terror Tower. There's a part in there that's just not interesting. Now, it's the exact same thing, only it's Act 1. When I was watching this episode, I'm like, it's not that interesting. But when we get to Act 2, where we meet Herman and Swamp Herman, and we start when there's a new dog in the family now, and when we get to part 2, it just gets even better. So honestly, the acts, it started off meh, okay, awesome, outstanding. There we go. Act 1, 2, and then I guess 3 and 4 if you count them as all each their separate act in one episode, even though they're 2 parts. So the beginning was just boring in that one. Same problem I had with Terror Tower, only it was Act 2. Okay, now this one, I have no problem with the boringness, because this one actually is really thrilling. Hong Mass 2. Now the reason why I put it so low, we don't get enough Han Mask. Now, don't get me wrong, it didn't have enough Han Mask in the book, and I'm fine with that. I read the book; it was good. It was actually I kind of liked it a little more than the first one. But see, the episode was actually outstandingly awesome. Not as good as this next one I'm about to show you. I think you all can agree this one is actually really good. But this one right here is number 5 for one reason. Is because not enough haunted mask. Here's the thing, I like the haunted mask more than the old man mask. Now, don't get me wrong, they made it more about this guy, the old man mask, because that's what the sequel's about. It was about this mask, pretty much. So I can see why they didn't bring back the Han Mask that much. It was in the episode, spoiler alert. Han Mask was actually part of part 2 a lot more than it was part 1. And it did appear in the beginning of Act 1. But still, no matter how much there is no Haunted Mask, because Haunted Mask is still real and true one of the scariest TV show episode monsters. Putting that thing on, that would be terrifying. No. I'm calling the cops. Nope. Still, this is outstanding. I actually kind of like this episode for the amount of care that went into it, for one, and the amount of details they put. And the mask looks amazing. Oh my god. Creepy. Creepy. Okay. Alright, it's when you all can agree with me. Do we have any zombie fans in the crowd? I'm not raising my hand because I'm not that big of a zombie fan. Now I am, even though I watched this like 6 years ago for the first time. More than that, when I was like 2. This was one of the first ones I actually watched. The first one I ever watched was Deep Trouble. I hated it. But now I do. I didn't hate it back then. But welcome to Dead House. You already knew when I said zombies, you're like, what's the only zombie TV special? Or what's the only episode with zombies? Welcome to Dead House. You could call them graveyard ghouls, whatever you want. I call them zombies. So, why is this rank so high? It's so good. Okay. I had to put it slower than these next ones, because you all can agree that they're a lot creepier. The only reason why I didn't put this so high is because, well, let's just put it this way. I don't want to say that because that would be rude. But, there's one thing I don't like is the brother. I don't like his acting. The brother is actually my least favorite character. I'm sorry, guys. The brother is my least favorite character in the episode. So that's why I put it this low. Even though it's number 4, it's actually a pretty good spot. Especially because I'm saying it's fantastic. Better than all these other ones. Not the next ones, obviously. You all can agree with the next one, but you all might get a little mad. So, yeah. I just don't like the brother in that one. Everything else, perfect. It's so scary, like, when, I can't remember his name, but pops out, who, I can't remember her name. I haven't watched the episode in, like, a year. No, I haven't watched it since September last year, guys. He's like, I'm hungry. Ooh, that's kind of good. I'm hungry. Anyways, guys, the next one, you guys might want to get mad. This is number 3. The very first Goosebumps episode, The Haunted Mask. Why is this so low? Or, well, why isn't this number 2 or number 1? Why is this number 3? Like I said, fantastic. I have nothing wrong with this episode, really. The reason why I put it a little lower, I don't want to say it to you guys, but it wasn't as scary as the next 2. It was terrifying, and when I watched it as a kid, I have the fear of the Haunted Mask. Not anymore. I mean, you see me put on the Haunted Mask 2, wait until I get the Haunted Mask 1, I'll be wearing it all day. I might wear it in my videos sometimes. I wear it in my shorts. Haunted Mask 2 I do. The old man mask, but still. The only thing I don't like about this episode is it's not as scary as the other 2, but it's still terrifying. I suggest this as the very first episode. Go binge watch the whole series, guys. I suggest it heavily. It's so good. Okay. Those are the top 2. Now, you already know who are the next ones. And, yeah, I hope you guys are, hope you guys agree with me. Because this is going to be very controversial. Because they're both almost equally terrifying. Actually, I had so many nightmares over these when I was younger. I don't have any nightmares over Goosebumps anymore. Because I remember having nightmares about Slappy chasing me. Or Slappy throwing hammers at the wall. It's creepy shit. You know, trying to murder me, like, literally he had an axe in one. He drove for our front fucking door in the middle of the night. Yeah, those are the types of nightmares I had, and I'm like, damn, you sign, how are we so silly, giving me nightmares. And it was the TV show Slappy, that's what even makes it so better. I hope I have nightmares again, guys. Anyways. Sail the Basement. You already know what's number 1 now, but let's get on to Sail the Basement. Sail the Basement. Sail the Basement. Sail the Basement. This one's so terrifying. The dad. Let's just talk about the dad. I have literally nothing wrong besides the same thing with Haunted Mask. It's not... I'm like 1% off why this is less scary, and I'll explain it when I get to the final one. You probably know why, because it's revolving around a certain wooden thing, you know, ventriloquist doll. Anyways, the dad is so terrifying. Margaret and her brother, you know, they're trying to figure out what's going on. Like, what the hell? What's in the basement? They go down there. There's just a bunch of plants. It's like a jungle. And they're moving. They're alive. I know they're plants, but they're, like, alive. They're moving on the spot. They're evil. They're crazy. And the fact that there's their real dad just locked in the basement, that sounds terrifying. Like, oh my god. And that place down there just looks so creepy. Imagine being locked down in the basement with all those plants. Who knows what could be down there? Like, holy crap. Really, no, like, Stink Eye Swamp could be growing down there. It's so terrifying. It's all for the basement. The basement is just terrifying. Okay, guys, the final one. You already know what it is. Number 3. Oh, that's good. Or this popped out. I have it on Netflix, guys. Don't worry. My only copy. Why is this so high? Slappy. There we go. That's the end of the episode, guys. I think you already know what I'm gonna say. It's fantastic. Oh, I know you guys are mad. It's not the VHS because I don't have the VHS version. Sorry. But I ranked this so high because it's Slappy. He's so creepy, okay? I'm actually about to watch this episode right now because every time I talk about it, I'm like, I need to watch it again. It's just so good. Spoiler alert, he turns Zane into a fucking dummy. It's just terrifying. He does it in the book, but seeing it actually happen, oh my god, it's even more terrifying than reading it on the pages. Whew. And I still think that's creepy. It still creeps me out. There's still moments in these